Namaste yogis, this is Stephen from YogaWorks. Welcome to your practice. Today what I want to share is yoga for lower back pain. I've just had in the last weeks so many requests from yogis that they had some lower back tension or discomfort or worse issues like sciatica and slip discs, and all of these often occur around the lower back area. So I decided to make a little video on a sort of a practice that makes it really sustainable to take care of your lower back, to alleviate any tension, and hopefully you'll get some ideas on how to prevent some of these very common issues. One of the main issues is that often we sit or we're in a stationary position for many hours of the day, which means the hips are not moving as they're supposed to, and also the upper back and the shoulder area is not moving as it's supposed to, which is downstream and upstream from the lower back, you could say. So if these two areas are not moving, the lower back often compensates with excessive movement. And guess what? Your lower back is not designed to move a lot. It's designed to be stable and to protect vital organs around the abdomen. So if it's going to be too much movement, it's going to create an instability. Welcome lower back pain and visits to the physio and the chiropractor, etc. I'm not saying everything will be solved with this class, but this is good maintenance work, so hopefully you'll prevent it getting worse if you attend to this regularly. So we'll be doing some a bit of indirect work. Sometimes we think my lower back is sore, so I need to stretch it. That's not always the case. Sometimes you need to strengthen it, or you need to work on the area above, which is shoulders, upper back, or below, which is hips. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. I'll also build in some rest here and there, because often, without us being aware of it, there's a tension in the lower back. It's continuously engaged, pushing us forward, making us move forward in life, so to speak, rushing from one project to the other. And when we're not aware of this continuous muscle activation can lead to soreness and tightness. Good. Enough intro. Let's lie down on our backs. Just come to a comfortable position on your back. And for this class today, bend your knees so that your feet are flat on the mat. And see if you can relax your back down as much as possible. It might take a few moments, a few breaths to tune into this. Your back might not know what's happening to it. You're just taking a moment to rest, which is quite an amazing thing to do in itself. Even if you don't have time for the whole rest of the class, then this is a good start. And then progressively, with every exhale, can you feel into the back, specifically the lower back area, and see if you can release any tension. Maybe it doesn't all go away. Maybe nothing much happens from the very start. All of this is okay, just allow it to be there. But just see if you can breathe some space into the abdomen and the lower back. Let everything descend down towards the mat. This pose is called Constructive Rest Pose. And it's one of the best ways I know to release tension from around the hips and the core. Specifically the hip flexors at this angle don't have to stretch or lengthen or strain in any way, and that makes a big difference. So see if you can relax the legs, relax the muscles around the hips, soften the belly and the lower back. This is a great pose if you before bed or after a long day at work. Just a couple of minutes constructive rest pose can work wonders. If it feels like an effort to keep your legs up, you can always move the feet a bit wider and drop the knees in towards the center. That's another option if you want to hold this a little bit longer. Good. Let's move on. Got some movements to get through. Half happy baby with the right leg bring the right ankle above your right knee and hold the right foot. And if your right foot is just not within your reach, then just hold your right ankle or pull the knee or the thigh down with your hands. Do whatever it takes to bring that right knee a little bit closer towards your rib cage. Now, so we're just starting to feel into the hips. This is a nice stretch for hamstrings. And of course, the hamstrings and the lower back form a continuum. They are not separate from each other. They are in the same back line of the body. So all these muscle groups and regions in the body are going to affect each other. You can pull down a little bit more if you want to use your second hand to get a little bit more pressure down, and that's fine. Or if you find where you are, then just stay there. And then gently release that right foot down and bring the left foot into half happy baby. You know the options. You can hold your ankle or your shin or behind the knee, as long as right ankle is more or less above the left ankle is more or less above the left knee. And you're getting this sort of downward movement of the knee towards the rib cage, then that's fine. We're closing the angle front of the hip here, which also means we're lengthening the back side, the opposite side of that. Take a few breaths just to feel the restfulness of your back, the space in your lower back, and a couple of breaths as you breathe into this tightness in the front of left hip. You are at the same time creating a bit more space in the lower back and the hamstring. Gently release. Now bring both knees into the chest. Squeeze in with both arms. Press the thighs into your chest. Feel that connection. And then hold your knees with your hands. Start to make little circles with the knees. So both knees stay together for this one. Circle the knees around. And then start to feel what's happening in your lower back. We're getting this little circular movement around the circumference of the lower back. It's really gentle, it's really subtle, but think of it as setting the stage of, you know, the area that we're going to work with. This is it, this little circular area, and then circle the other way, and just feel how you're touching the bottom, the sides, top of your lower back on the mat as you do this. Really nice and simple. And then release this. Place the feet down. Cross your right knee over the left. Nice. Shift the hips a little bit to the right before we're coming to the twist. And then lower your knees to the left side. Nice. Don't worry where the knees end up, just let them relax. And at the same time, can you open the arms and soften your upper back, your head, your shoulders into the mat. And you're likely to feel quite a twist in the mid, maybe upper part of the spine. That's what we're looking for. And instead of pushing harder, just let the breath explore the twist from the inside out. You feel that automatically you're making a bit of space on the inhale. And on the exhale, you might just get more comfortable or sink a little bit deeper into the twist. Whatever happens, it's fine. And can you relax the whole length of the spine? Good. Come back up. Cross your left knee over the right. Before we twist, move the hips a little bit left. We're doing this so that the spine ends up in a straight line and not off at an angle. Open the arms, let the knees become heavy towards the right. Relax the shoulders, relax the upper back and the head down, and just feel the twist work from the inside again. Your lower back is turning to the right, your upper back is trying to stay where it was, and you get this really nice twist along the whole length of the spine. Actually, it feels like we're twisting from the lower back, but actually the lower back doesn't twist much. That's just not what the spine does in that area. So any twist will definitely come from the mid-back upwards. And then the best part, or the most mobile part to twist, is your neck. Just to look around left and right. You don't have to do it now, but that's a part of the spine that twists really easily. And then bring the knees back up and cross the legs, and then lift both legs straight up. So looking for 90-degree angle. But sometimes if you have a bit of tightness in the back body, hamstrings, lower back, then this will feel like a monumental task. I know this from experience. So if that's you, then just bend the knees a little bit, just to take some of the strain off in the hamstrings, lower back. You want to connect the whole back to the mat, and then bonus if the legs straighten up, but don't lose any sleep over this. It could come with time. As long as you feel a little stretch. And actually what we're doing here is we're engaging the core to stay stable as the legs are lifting. So there's a bit of activation around the center. You might feel the hip flexors here, the front of the hips, and just stay in this this L shape for a little moment. Of course, the stronger the core is, the abdomen, the waist, the lower back itself, the more we're going to protect the center and avoid things like lower back issues. Nice. Lower the right leg almost down, straighten both legs as best as you can, even if this leg, the top leg, goes a little bit at a lower angle, that's fine. And then reach your fingertips forward towards your right foot, and then lift the head and the shoulders. Can you peel the whole shoulder blades off the mat and make it nice and strong here? Squeeze the thighs a little bit towards each other. Feel the abdomen here really contract, and then place everything down. Constructive rest just for a moment. That feels nice after that bit of core work. Okay, enough resting. Lift the legs. Adjust as you need to. You can always do that. Lower the left leg almost down. Activate that foot. Do something engaging with it. And then reach the fingertips forward towards the left foot. Lift the shoulder blades. Tuck the chin towards the chest. You can look straight ahead. And feel the lower back is pushing down and the abdomen is crunching to make this possible. Really good core work. 3, 2, 1. Relax. Rest down just a moment. Another really great practice to alleviate lower back pain is to end the rush, to take little moments in between, just like we're doing here, to just sit for a moment, lie down for a moment, just stand still or sit still instead of rushing to the next task. I've done this for many years and I'm probably still doing it too much. So I'm telling this from my own experience. Good bridge pose. This is core work, but now we're strengthening the lower back muscles. If we only strengthen the front, we're going to create an imbalance and it's not going to do us any good. So place the feet down, lift the hips up as far as they'll go, and just feel the feet pressing down. You've got your shoulders, upper back pressing down, and in between the body is making this nice bridge or arch from the feet to the shoulders. And then just feel, you can even poke the backs of your legs to check the glutes are on, the hamstrings are on. If your hamstrings are off, then you press your feet down, you pull your heels a little bit towards you, that's going to switch them on. And your lower back muscles are really engaged to get that lift, that arch in the back here. It's called spinal extension. Nice. 2 more breaths. Inhale, feel a bit of space in the front. Exhale, 1. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Slowly lower down. Constructive rest. I really love that name, constructive rest. It's like you're a little bit scrambled before you arrive in your mat, and then you're putting yourself back together. Good. Next, I want to do fish pose with you. So stretch the legs long, prop yourself up on your elbows, and then turn the palms of the hands down and wiggle side to side so you can sit on the hands. Nice. So this is our setup. Activate the legs and the feet a little bit, and then lift the chest and the belly up, 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 up. So you're arching your back as much as possible. Feel the space in the front body. Keep all of this. You could stay here, or if it feels good, you can drop the head back. The head can either just hover freely, as relaxed as possible, or you can even slide a bit back until the crown of the head is just touching down to the mat. We don't want a lot of pressure in the head, so just be gentle there. And hold this for a few moments. A really nice opener for the front body, and it engages the lower back muscles really well. So arch, arch, arch. You want to really lift the chest as high as you can. Take a deeper breath all the way down to your hips. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out. On the next inhale, lift back up, look towards your feet. And you can remove the elbow support. Place your feet a little bit wider. And then a couple of times, windscreen wipe your knees from side to side. Nice and easy. Just drop the knees right, drop the knees left, and try to keep your feet in the same position so that the full movement is coming from rotation of thigh bones inside the hip socket. That's a really crucial movement that needs to be enabled in order to prevent lower back issues. The hips need to do their work as the prime movers of the body. If they don't, it's gonna affect the lower back quite a bit. Nice. Slowly lift up. We're gonna come to standing. Come to the front of your mat. Press the feet down, lengthen the crown of the head up. Take a moment just to see how this warm-up has affected you. We've done some core work, some hip movements, some spinal movements, some lower back awareness. We'll see if you can stand here and be aware of the midsection, especially the lower back area. Yes. Let's flow to some really gentle sun salutations, and I'm adapting them to get a little bit more work for the lower back. Inhale, lift the arms, rise. Exhale, fold forward, take your time, all the breath out. You can of course bend your knees here. If you're taking care of your lower back, I would recommend to bend the knees. Just gonna take some tension off the back line of the body. You'll notice this. Nice. Now, nice and high, lift into flat back. And we want to actually feel a little bit of a back bend sensation. We don't want any more rounding in the back. We want to almost feel like a mini locust here. So the back muscles need to be nice and engaged. Good. Exhale, the fingertips down. Step the right foot towards the back of the mat. And then lower the right knee down. Lift up and step a little bit closer so you've got a shorter lunge. not the longer stance that we often do. Nice, hands to the hips. This will allow you to see, is one hip hiking up or down, or one is forward, one is back, just check. Now move the belly back towards the spine. Sometimes I like to press the front knee away with my hands, and then think of lengthening the tailbone down and lifting the front of the hips up. So just tone the belly a little bit back. Now one more element, press the right knee down and pull it forward towards the front foot. It's not actually going to move, but you'll feel this really engages the front of the hip, those muscles there called hip flexors. It's a group of muscles that connect the thigh to the lower back area. If they're tight, they're continuously going to pull your back into your lower back into extension, and will create a whole lot of tension around your middle. Release, lower the hands down, step back to plank. Just a moment in plank is a nice pose to engage the core, especially the front in this case. And then lower down to your belly. And now just for a moment, reach your arms forward and rest your forehead down. You might think, oh, there's some hectic core work coming up, some lifts or something. No, nothing like this. We're just lying here for a moment. This is it. How quickly can you relax? Soften your belly, soften the chest. And if you dare, or if you can you relax the lower back? Nice. Slide your elbows under the shoulders for Sphinx pose. And just to make the pose a bit more active, press the elbows down and pull them a little bit towards you, so that the chest broadens to the front. Nice, now tuck your toes under, lift up into forearm plank or dolphin plank. Nice, a moment or two here, just feel the front of your body keep you up. Try not to pike the hips up, rather tilt the tailbone a little bit back so you get some length in the lower back. Let the abdominals work here. And then lower back down to Sphinx. Release the hands down and make your way to downward facing dog. Down dog, such a beautiful pose to lengthen the spine. So see if you can find that element of this pose. If it's hard to lengthen the spine, just bend the knees a bit and see if that makes any difference. Inhale here. Exhale, step right foot forward, lower the left knee down. Nice, one breath, lift the arms into a normal, a low lunge here with the knee down. Exhale, hands down, step to the front. Relax, forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Second side, here we go. Inhale, let the arms reach up to the sky. Exhale to the bottom. Relax the head down and get a little stretch in the lower back. It feels better if you bend the knees, at least for me. Try it out. Then inhale, flat back. Now we want to activate the muscles along the spine, so lift nice and high. Exhale, fingertips down, left foot step it back. Not too far back, we want a bit of a shorter stance for the purpose of this class. In a low lunge, but much shorter. You get a square space under this front knee here. Hands to the hips. Check the position of the hips. One hip might be a little bit higher or lower. See if you can adjust that. And then you can press hands on the front knee, draw the belly a little bit back, which is helping to lengthen the tailbone down. One more thing you could do is press that left knee down, pull it forward quite strongly towards your right heel. Pull, pull, pull. Hello, hip flexors. That's that stretching sensation you feel in the front of the left hip. I don't know about you, but for me, this is always quite like an area where I collect a lot of tension, personally. Release that, hands can come down. Inhale, plank pose. Set it up. Don't hang the hips down too much. And don't pike them up. Try to lengthen the lower back. See if you can find that. And then slowly lower down. And then just come home. Remember this pose. Arms forward. It's like a supine shavasana. Restful and quiet. Just for a moment, forget about the rest of the world and just turn inwards. Nice. Sphinx pose. Hands any position. Sometimes I like to clasp the hands together. I'll leave it up to you. Elbows under the shoulders. Pull the elbow a little bit back. And tuck toes. Forearm plank. Dolphin plank. Feel the abdominals and the front of the legs. Be nice and active. And then slowly lower back down. Sphinx. One inhale. Exhale to downward facing dog. Press back however you like. Take a breath or two. Lengthen the spine. How's the lower back doing? Inhale here. On the exhale, step left foot forward. Normal stance this time, right knee down. I will lift the arms. Inhale, one breath, low lunge. Exhale, step to the front. Forward fold, relax the spine. Inhale to rise. Let's go all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale. Lift the arms. We'll do one more round. We'll adapt it a little bit. Exhale to forward fold. If your hamstrings are okay, you can keep the legs straight. Otherwise, bend the knees a bit. Inhale, flat back. Shoulders are at least at the hip height here. Exhale the right foot back. Longer stance this time. Lower the knee and untuck the back foot. So now you're on the top of the back foot there. Hands on the front knee. Little bit of core engagement to get a nice stretch front of the right hip. But we're gonna be increasing this even more in a moment, you'll see. Nice. Now start to push the top of the back foot down. The top of the right foot, push it down, push it down, push it down. Like you're trying to make an indentation into your mat. And you're leaving an imprint of the top of that foot. Press, 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 press. In some cases you can press so hard that your right knee becomes lighter and maybe even lifts off the mat. I think this is called arrow lunge. Really good to stretch but also strengthen the right quads and the right hip flexors. And just hold for another moment. Either your knee is still down or your knee is up, but in either case you're pressing the top of that right foot down and then slowly release the knee. Nice. Hands down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down. Resting pose on your belly. And the most amazing thing here is that when you breathe into the belly will inflate, and it's sort of inflating the lower back with it, almost like you have a balloon around your center. So see if with the inhale you can breathe some space into the lower part of the spine. Good. From here, bring the left hand under your face. Turn your face to the left. So you're gluing the left hand to your right cheek as you do this. Nice. Right hand can just be next to your right hip. And on the inhale, just lift the left arm and your head and the chest. Lift everything up. Exhale, lower down. 2 more like this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We'll do 3 more. You can stay with the same movement, or if you want, you can lift the left arm and the right leg. Cross body connection. Exhale, down. 2 more. Inhale, you can choose if the leg lifts as well or not. And the last one, inhale. Exhale. Nice. Press back up. Downward facing dog. Lengthen the spine, you've guessed it, with a specific focus on the lower back. Sometimes when I bend my knees, I seem to find a bit more space there. Inhale here. Exhale the right foot forward, left knee down. Inhale, lift the arms, low lunge. Exhale, step to the front. Inhale to rise. Just enjoy this little bit of flowing motions. Exhale, hands to heart. Continuing, last round here. Inhale. Exhale down, release any tension, soften the spine. Inhale, now strengthen the spine. Flat back. Exhale, left foot back, left knee down. Untuck the toes, so we're starting to push the top of that left foot down. Hands to the front knee. Start to gradually increase the pressure. Start off really softly. And then start to press that left foot down a little bit stronger. Press, 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 like you're trying to leave an imprint into the mat. Press, press, press. Maybe left knee starts to become lighter. This is optional. And then maybe you're pressing so hard that the left knee actually lifts off into a kind of a lunge, but instead of toes tucked under, we're on the top of the foot and we're lengthening the whole front of that left thigh and hip. 3, 2, 1. Gently lower back down. You know the drill. Inhale, we're going to plank. Take a moment. Tilt the tailbone a little bit back. Slowly lower down. Resting pose on the belly. This one, for some reason, just feels really amazing. How quickly can you relax and soften? Good. Right hand under your face. Turn your face to the right. So your left cheek is on the right hand. Left hand next to left hip. 3 times, just the upper body. Inhale, lift the head, the chest, and the right arm. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, flow with the breath. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more if you want. Continue, or right arm, left leg. Inhale. Exhale. Don't worry how high you go. It's more of a strength exercise than a stretch. Inhale. Lift. Exhale. Lower. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Press up. You can go via plank, or you can go via child's pose to downward facing dog. Move around if you want to, or be still if you want to. Good. Inhale in down dog. Exhale the left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale, one breath, lift the arms. Exhale, step to the front and fold. Inhale, let's rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Just see how the lower back and sort of your whole center is feeling here. And if this is a good way for you to move, if it's sustainable and it makes you feel more confident, more able in your body, then that's a really good thing to practice. Inhale all the way up, lift the arms. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. You know what to do now. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Nice. Lower one elbow at a time. For dolphin pose, you're welcome to clasp your hands or do any hand position that feels good. And again, instead of walking as close as possible, we're not preparing to go into forearm stand at all. Just keep a bit of a longer stance, and like we've done before, feel some length in the lower back. One more slow breath in dolphin. Press the mat away with your elbows, and on the exhale, lower the knees. Tuck your toes under for this one. You could even come onto the toes. Check that all the toes are sort of unstuck, and then lower the knees down. Sometimes the pinky toe doesn't want to play a game, so you can get it involved here. Nice. And then sit back on the heels. If you're leaning forward, there's going to be less weight on this structure, on your toes mainly. If you lean back, it's going to increase the intensity, so I'll leave it up to you where you must go. And this pose is great to stretch the toes. I'm sure you feel that, and also to open the fascia connective tissue at the bottom of the foot, which in the end is connected to the calf, hamstring, lower back, everything upstream. So it starts from there actually. If there's a problem down below, it's going to reflect higher up the chain. And then I'm just talking a little bit here to distract you from the intense stretch in the toes. We're going to hold for 5, 4, soften the breath, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose. Untuck the toes, open the knees a little bit wider. No, actually, since we're doing lower back, today keep the knees a bit closer. I changed my mind. And then fold over the legs. You can reach your arms back or forward. With the knees together, you get a little bit more of a rounding in the spine, which is going to increase the stretch in the lower back. It's very gentle, but that's a good thing for child's pose. So see if you can release the back muscles, specifically the lower back. Let them just lightly stretch and lengthen. And also see if you can release any tension around your core. Slowly roll back up. Nice. Right foot, step it forward towards the right side of your mat. Left foot, step it to the left back side of the mat. So you want a bit of space between the feet here. And then lift up. And then for a moment have hands to hips. And see what happens when you turn the hips to face forward as best as you can. That's our setup for Warrior 1, the traditional Warrior 1. And you quickly notice, when I do it at least, there's a lot of pulling here, the front of this left hip. And there's sort of a weird torque or tension that is created around the sacrum in the lower back. It's not always great. One option that we can do, I learned from my teacher, one of my teachers, Jason Crandall, is to do a warrior 1.5. So now, instead of trying to face forward, allow your hips to just face at about a 45-degree angle towards the top left corner of your mat. Just wherever the hips end up. And then bend the front knee a little bit more. And with the hips facing at that angle, lift the arms. Nice. So it's almost like you couldn't decide, are you doing warrior 1 or warrior 2, and you did something in between, warrior 1.5. And just feel that at least where the hips are concerned and the lower back, it's much more positive than trying to force the hips to face forward. It doesn't often work. Good. Slowly release. Now lift the back heel. This is another option to make warrior 1 more pleasant, is actually to turn it into a high lunge, because now you will see, now it's quite possible to turn the hips straight forward and not feel that weird torque. Nice. Now let's go warrior 3. I'll step a little bit back so I'm still in the frame. Warrior 3, step onto your right foot, lift the left leg and have your hands to your heart. Nice. Do something active with the step leg. The standing leg doesn't need to straighten, it might. I often like to keep a little bend, seems easier for the balance. And then right hand down, half moon pose. So now we're really strengthening those hip joints and exploring their range of motion, their mobility. Either release the left foot down and take a break, or if you have got some energy left, then you can do that one more time. Warrior 3, turn the left toes down, hands to the heart, and half moon, right hand down, left arm up, expand. Good. Both hands down, downward facing dog, walk the legs out. Good, and step left foot towards the left hand. Right foot, place it a bit wider and turn the heel down. So we're setting up for warrior 1. The first step, especially if you've got lower back issues, make space between the feet. If you're going to be in one line, you're squashing everything together. There's just no space and balance. So step a bit wider. Now try hands on the hips, turn the right hip towards that left knee, and just notice how it feels. When I do it, it doesn't feel great. Now, instead of this, let the hips face towards the top right corner of your mat, a bit of the diagonal. And when you're ready, lift the arms and just sit for a moment in this warrior 1.5. And just feel, what is your lower back feeling here? And what is the difference between you've done warrior 1 before and now you're doing warrior 1.5? Which one is better for you? Nice. Now, second option to make warrior 1 nicer, more lower back friendly, is to face forward but to lift the right heel. So we'll make it into a high lunge. No problem to face forward here, you'll notice this. Nice. And then warrior 3, step onto your left foot, lean the chest towards the front, let the right leg lift, hands to heart. This pose is great to strengthen the backs of the legs and also the lower back. It's a bit like a back bend, balancing on one leg. Nice. Now lower the left hand, lift the right arm up. We're transferring to half moon pose. Stretch open on all sides. Nice. If you're done, well then you're done, lower the right leg. If you're not done, you've got some space left, some energy left, then go back to warrior 3. If you fall out, There's no problem. Nobody cares. And then maybe back to half moon. One more time. Step back, both hands down. Downward facing. Good. Right foot stepping forward. Left knee lowered down. Lift the torso. Hands to your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the right and lower the left elbow onto your right knee. I'm with my back to you, but I'll show it on the other side so you can see better. But I'm sure you know what to do. Press the hands onto each other. Roll the right shoulder open. And then just twist from, it feels like you're twisting from the lower back, but think of it as you're stabilizing, lengthening the lower back. And then you're twisting from the mid-spine upwards. Nice. Release the right hand down, or the left hand I mean, and reach the right hand back. You could stay here, or if it's possible to hold this back foot, then do so. Sometimes I like to wiggle that right foot a bit wider, and we're stretching the quads. With long periods of sitting, those quads get really tight. They are continuously in a shortened position when you sit. And if this gets worse and worse, then they can create havoc around the lower back area. So we're just targeting some of those muscles that that can affect our lower back health. Sometimes nice to just hold the pose a little bit. There's a lot of instructions we can give, but I'm sure you're aware enough of your body to know what you need to be doing, when you need to back off, when you need to push a little bit harder. So I'll leave that up to you. Gently release that left foot down. Step back, downward facing dog. Then the left foot forward, right knee down, second side. Lift up, hands to the heart. Twist left, hook the right elbow, and press the hands together. Just let that left shoulder open towards the sky, the ceiling. And feel the length, the space, the stability in your lower back. And the twist going up the spine from there. Good, release the right hand down. Maybe open left foot a little bit wider. Bend the right knee, and if it's possible, hold the left foot, the right foot. Couple of moments. You can pull in closer with this foot. You can press away. Feel free to play around with these poses and see which options work best for you. And of course, the more you come to your mat, you practice these poses, the more you will investigate and find what works for you. We're looking for space in the front of that right hip and thigh. So just move your attention to this area and progressively feel it lengthen. Gently release this right foot down, and then just step the right foot through to sit down. Stretch the legs forward. Yes. Feel the sit bones plug down into the earth. Activate the legs and the feet. Nice. We've done the same pose lying in the back, remember, with our legs up. In this L shape. This is the same pose, but now we're in a different relation to gravity. The back muscles need to work a little bit to keep us upright. And there's a bit of support from the abdomen, your core, as well. This is Dandasana, the staff pose. Sometimes I like to press the hands down next to the hips to lift the spine a little bit. If you feel enough here, then you could stay here for a little bit longer. It's a nice pose. Or if you've got a bit more space, you want to stretch the hamstrings, calves, lower back a little bit more, then just walk the hands a bit forward and come into the seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. I'm mentioning the Sanskrit name because it's quite an interesting meaning. It means an intense stretch to the west. What's the west? Traditionally, yogis are facing the east, which is the sunrise, and then the west means it's behind them. So we're stretching. It's an intense stretch for the whole backside of the body. That means whether you can touch your toes or not, there's nothing to do with this pose. There's only an element of lengthening from the heels down the backs of the legs, all the way through the back body to the neck and to the forehead even. That's the line that the yogis were describing, the line that we're lengthening now. So wherever you are, you might be more straight up, you might be lying all the way down. Just feel the length in the west side of the body. And then slowly lift back up. So I'm going to face forward here. We're doing a similar pose but with one leg at a time. Take your right knee up and then let it open to the sides. Nice. Usually what we do is we twist here over that left leg and we reach towards that left foot. We're not going to do that today because notice where your lower back is positioned, which way the hips are facing before you do that. And you'll notice it's at a 45-degree angle. It's somewhere between that right knee and that left leg. So we're going to keep this angle, especially if you've got lower back pain, sciatica, slip discs. It's a bad idea to sort of torque and twist and create more tension in your lower back. So rather than that, we're just walking on the diagonal and folding down at an angle between the right knee and the left leg. Just explore this and see if this feels better, then maybe this is the way you should do that pose from now on. Remember, there's no one right way to do a pose. There's only the best way for you, considering how you feel today and what happened. And then slowly lift up. It's a really nice way. You feel the solidity and the space in your lower back when you practice like this. Lift the right knee up, reach the foot forward, bend the left knee, open the left knee to the sides. Nice. Again, just see the difference. Try to twist over that right leg and just feel what happens in your lower back. There's a tightening, a twisting, a bit of a torque here. Not a bad thing if you don't have any problems there. But if lower back health is an issue, then I would recommend face 45 degrees, the way your hips are naturally facing here. Walk a little bit forward. Be happy here. This is it. Nice length in from the hips, the lower back, down the spine. And a bit more of a natural angle that your body is in any case, in this pose. And then slowly walk the hands back up. Nice shavasana. Stretch the legs out. Lie down on your back. Soften the head, shoulders, the spine. And then just for this class today, or you might actually like to do this in any case, you can bend the knees, lift the hips up, and then just lengthen the tailbone towards your heels a little bit. And place your body back down. Then you can straighten the legs again. It's just to give the lower back a bit more space. And you can turn the palms up when you're ready. And once you're done making all the adjustments, see if you can just drop in. Yoga is the science of self-inquiry, a process of coming home in your own body and mind. So that's exactly what we're doing now. If you have a bit more time for shavasana, then by all means continue it for a couple more minutes if you have that luxury. If it's time to go, then start to move your hands, move your feet, bend your knees and roll over onto one side. And then make your way up into sitting. Bring your hands together in front of the chest. Touch your hands to your forehead, to your heart, and bow to yourself on the mat. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste, everybody. I hope this was beneficial, gave you some new ideas to take care of this lower back, maybe some strengthening, mobility work. Repeat this often, even if you don't have an hour, then just choose one or two of these movements that felt really good today. And I appreciate you being here. I hope to see you again soon. Take care.